Let's just walk through some of the publishing screens. Like I said, publishing for Android is really easy. Once you turn your device on into development mode, you're good to go. Basically pull up your settings menu, allow for development, you get the little scary warning, click OK, and you're pretty much good to go. That's all it takes. So publishing for Air for Android is 4 tabs. You set up some general information. You give your output file name, your app a name. You give it a specific ID. Usually it's a reverse domain notation, com.company name dot something. That is important in the marketplace, so you want to make sure you get that right. That's what you want, because any updates can be tied to that, also with your certificates. Version numbers, whether or not you want it in portrait, landscape, full screen, really, really straightforward stuff. Any included files you might have, so if you are having an app in the database, you would include that app in the included files. For deployment, you just need to create your own self-signed certificate. Don't lose that certificate. So any updates you make have to be signed with that same certificate. So even if you remake it, call it the same thing, it's a different certificate and you won't be able to update. Sadly, there are quite a few abandoned applications in the app stores because of that little thing. So, guard it. You can deploy it, quickly to device. You can go to the emulator. If you set it up for debug, you can do some great USB debugging, which is wonderful. So you can actually run your app on device, pull up the Flash debugger, and see what's going on. So if you're having a problem with a gesture or a touch event, some sort of sensor event, something that you can't even attempt to reproduce on a laptop or a normal desktop computer, only has issues on a mobile device, you can still do debugging, which is great. With Android, there's actually 2 marketplaces. There's the Google Marketplace and the Amazon Marketplace. So if you are publishing an app to be externally used and you want it in both marketplaces, you do have to publish twice. And after publishing, it'll actually install and launch it for free. So like I said, it is just so easy just to publish and go. You have to set up some icons. There are 3 sizes that you have to set within the app. There's actually another size, the big, large 512, if you go into the App Store. So, icon development in a vector-based program is highly recommended because you are making multiple sizes. And the last thing with the Android stuff is you have to explicitly say what features the app has access to. So, pretty much by default, turn internet on. You're pretty much going to want to talk to internet. You'll need that for debugging. But if you're going to write out to the SD card, going to use the GPS, the camera, access the network state, all those things, you have to turn those on. So if you've used an Android, installed an Android app, that's what sets up that sort of warning dialogue. In the App Store, it's like, this app does X. That's where you set that. It also has the capability to see at the very top of manually managing this. By default, if you want to have your app installed, say, on an SD card, you have to manually go into the XML file and add that. And then you want to turn on that manually manage so Flash doesn't overwrite what you do there. iOS, very similar, really only 3 tabs here, a little simpler in some ways. Aspect ratio, you can talk about if you're going to target just an iPhone, just an iPad, or both. Same thing about resolution, whether you're talking with the older resolutions, the non-Retina displays, or the Retina displays, and any included files. Deployment. Here's where figuring out which certificate you need to install, both within in the app, the provisioning profile, all those sorts of things get managed. How you want to publish, whether it be a quick one, where it's a little larger, with debugging. Deployment ad hoc, where you can share it around, or in the final stage, actually to the App Store. So there's some really nice resources out here on that one. It could be definitely budget some time in working through this the first time, and I budget time every time I go to iOS just to refresh myself with all the interesting nuances of publishing on that platform. And then finally, a few more icons to support. So again, use your vectors for your icons and be much happier. To market, real simple, and this is a shot from the Android upload application. Use screenshots. So again, having that DDoS tool with the Android SDK is great for getting those on-device screenshots. The APK, a few pieces of description, some marketing copy, upload it. Probably within 5 minutes, your app is available on the store. iOS, whole different story. You know, I've had apps approved as little as 4 days. I've had apps take over 2 weeks. So plan accordingly. If your project is time sensitive, definitely factor that in.